Hello.
What's going on?
I think we're here. I think we're on.
Everyone here. I sat down and I was like, oh, my hair looks so luscious today. I love it. And Matt Palmer was like, I can never tell if you're going to say your hair looks good or it looks bad. It looks the same all the time.
It does, and I can't. But, I'm glad you're happy with the way it looks.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
You seem happy. You're kind of...
I'm pissed.
Hi,
Hello,
Yazzie.
What's going on?
How are we all doing today? How's everyone's week's been?
It's a much calmer live stream than it was last
I mean, there will never be a crazier live stream than the Super Bowl's on and Beyonce just dropped new songs that we're going to try to listen to live on this damn live stream.
Yeah.
Unplanned.
But you know what? We're still going to have fun.
We are.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't mind me. I'm still posting on the interwebs what we're doing.
Hi, Julian. Hi, Max. Hi, Tyler. How's everybody doing? I hope you've been listening to Texas Hold'em, 16 Carriages, and Yes and featuring Mariah Carey. Because I have. And I also was listening to Training Season.
Look at you.
On my walk today, I listened to all of those, and then I was like, I'm going to listen to Guts in full.
Okay. I love that when you're just kind of just like, you know what, I'm going to listen to this full album.
Exactly.
And honestly, her albums aren't that long.
No, they're not crazy long.
That is something nice about the kids these days.
Yes.
Putting out short albums.
Yes.
While sometimes we do a long song, sometimes it's as I'm getting ready for bed,
yes,
I want to listen to the entirety of Sour.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be forever. How are we all? Hi, it's been a minute. Missed y'all. Hello, Sarah.
Effie.
Oh, hello, Montana. Effie's here.
Hello.
Not the third, but yes, Dylan. Don't be rude about Mariah.
Not the third what?
The third song I mentioned, I think, which was Yes and featuring Mariah Carey. And we're going to fucking talk about all your fucking comments because I have feelings. Shock.
I don't understand why people are just like, the mixing. It's how do you...
And also...
How do you know?
I don't know. The thing is, the mixing is one thing. Fine, have that opinion. Anyone who has said anything about Mariah Carey's singing on that song
sounds great.
She sounds fucking fantastic, and you're all morons. Period.
You're all morons.
All morons.
All morons. All of you.
But thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming to our live stream. If you're new here, we do this every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Are people new here?
There is some. Raise your hand if you're new.
Maybe there are new people.
Yeah, I'm sure someone here is new. We've got a bunch of new subscribers in the last week who were probably clicking on this video being like, what the hell is this?
Hey, well, welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, Montrez.
Stream Hurt My Feelings by Tate McRae.
Is that one of her weird ballads? Because she should stop doing those. Hello, Love Life. We love. Hello from Arrows Tour Central. That's true. Montana is in the Discord, and she said she's going to do a stream just talking to everybody about how much she loved the Arrows Tour and everything that happened there. I'm honestly living for you going so hard for this remix. I'm going to talk about it. I have a lot of feelings. The thing is, we've been doing this for so long that it's hard for, usually I'm like, people think I'm wrong about this, whatever. But when it comes to Mariah.
No, you got it.
You know what's going on. Fucking shit.
Yeah. You have feeling. It's good to
have a lot of feelings.
It's nice to know you still have it. You're not old and dead inside.
I'm not dead.
You're just old.
To quote, I'm fine with that. I'll take it, babe, because again, we are what? Same fucking age, essentially.
Not quite.
Essentially,
you're a full year older. A full year.
Yeah, but it's when you get to our age, a year's not a lot.
It doesn't matter. It's so interesting, because when you're in school, elementary, middle, and high school, you're just like, oh man, these kids a year below us, they're so young, because the maturity level, there's such a huge discrepancy.
Yes. Matt Palmer doesn't play about the Yes and remix. The thing is, my argument, I should say it for the podcast. My argument isn't even the remix is perfect. My argument is, if your complaint is Mariah sounds bad, you're a fucking idiot. That's my real opinion, and we'll get into it.
Let people know how they feel. Say it again and again and again.
Okay, but for real, seeing people dragging the remix need to fix their ears. It's great, and Mariah sounds amazing. Absolutely. The remix got so much backlash. It sounds fine, but they're acting like they were streaming Yes and to begin with. Oh, God. Save for the pod. You're right. I'm sorry. I have a lot of feelings.
Save for the pod.
Love Life is newish. Palmer's
sweater
reminds me of the podcast with the audio glitch. Funny times. Which audio?
That was about a year ago when we had to restart the podcast or something like that.
Oh, that happened.
That happened a year ago.
That happens. Yeah. Oh, I hate that Jeff is now a mod and then can spew his bad opinions as if he has any point.
Just because you have a wrench next to your name,
I know,
doesn't make you the
how are you trolling with a wrench, Jeff? Gloria said something.
Oh, it's don't read what Gloria said.
Yeah, Jeff, focus on Gloria. Get her muted.
Get Gloria out of here. I love like when there are people who like troll with the same exact speech.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, get new material.
I know, just something
You
new.
bots or whatever you are. What are they?
I don't know. What are they? It's a great, beautiful
'Cause
question.
It's different people with the same message.
Right.
Talking about body parts.
I know. Always body parts.
I know.
Didn't love the remix, but don't understand the hate. Well, it's getting nice work, Jeff. Yes, Jeff is. The thing is, we talk shit about Jeff because he has a lot of bad opinions. But incredible admin, incredible administrator
on
here.
It. He's on it.
Montana too. Bye, Gloria. What is happening? Not Montana and I tag teams. Gloria. I'm like, should I make it a little brighter here? I don't know. Do you think that looks fine?
Do I think that looks fine?
That looks fine to us.
If you want to make it brighter, go for it.
Okay, give me
Try
1 second.
something new, guys.
Try just give me.
I mean, this camera in general is green. This camera is green.
Don't worry about what's happening.
Oh no! Can people see all that?
I don't know. We'll see.
Can you see all the like little whatever that he's doing?
I'm gonna try and change
Or can you see me?
thing.
Okay.
And then we're gonna turn this.
Okay, we're turning this way. Okay,
right.
it's brighter.
All right, we love that.
Still green, but you know.
I look. We're all here together. We're all friends.
We're all friends. We
and
know what we look like.
We're doing our best.
We look great.
And we look great. And we're changing the color temp. And we changed the brightness.
We changed the brightness. My hair looks great. We've already established that.
We've already established. We can see the settings. Good. There was nothing like crazy in the settings. The way I tried to click the screen. I love it. Good. I'm glad. Look, we're all in this together.
Yeah, they tried to be interactive.
The thing is, that's the thing is you think that we're running this. We're not. We're all working together to create the content.
Yeah.
Your lighting's a little like the Adele 30 album. That's funny. Maybe we should we should turn it back down, make it a little moody.
No. I don't look good in dim lighting. Dim lighting and blue. Whenever it's like a club or something and someone takes a picture,
no one looks good in
and it's like
blue lighting.
blue purple lighting.
No one looks good in blue.
Revolting.
No one
like I don't understand why clubs do that. I
Yes.
also don't understand why anyone wants that. When see people and their bedrooms are just like, oh, I got new lighting for my bedroom, and it's like the bedroom is purple. Disgusting. I hate that like lighting in a bedroom.
I mean, I think it's cute and it can be fun, but like it certainly wouldn't be my regular way of living, like having like purple lights or whatever in my bedroom.
And I'm glad it makes y'all happy, but I want lights to just be lights. You know,
Do you have feelings about lamps versus like overhead lights?
I mean, I know like lamps can create like a nice like warmer mood or something like that. But when I'm in a house, it depends on if there's enough like natural lighting in the house or like in the apartment or whatever.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
there's not like my apartment doesn't get a lot of natural lighting because there's windows only on one side.
Right.
So I like the what's it called? Overhead lights on a lot because it's brighter.
Yes.
But if it was like an apartment or a house that had a lot of natural lighting, then maybe I could do like a lamp moment. So it all depends.
I never cared about overhead lights or lamps or whatever, and Jackson is like violently against an overhead light.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't you feel like awful? Don't you feel like you're in an office building when there are overhead lights on? I'm just like, no.
No, because an overhead light, like in an apartment, is different from like an office overhead light.
It's not like it's...
An office is like fluorescent and you feel pale and blah, blah, blah.
I'm not arguing that fluorescents are cool. No. But I'm just saying, but like, so now in the home, if ever I turn those overhead lights on, I don't hear the end of it. And so I have to have lamps galore. I love blue lights. I'm biracial, so I don't know. That's funny. Black light is the worst. I hate that ugly blue light. I'm a black girl. You can't put blue lights on black girls. Hey, moonlight showed that blue light on black skin. Yeah. Looks gorgeous.
Looks beautiful.
Y'all cool in whatever light. Yes. Ooh, not team overhead lights. Sarah coming in.
I'm cool with overhead lights.
Y'all look nice in whatever light. Oh, Tyler, that's nice.
Thank you.
Pink lighting all the way. Oh, that's cute. 1000% relate to Jackson. I just had never thought of it. And like he and his entire family are very serious about the lamps. And I'm like, all right, guess it's all about lamps.
In my house in Jersey, me and my brother are always, and mother, we know you're in here, so you know, me and my brother are always yelling at our mom to turn the overhead lights on. It's not like lights in the ceiling, but it's like we have a ceiling fan in the living room and it's very, very bright. But my mom and my stepdad always like want that light off. But when it's off, like during the daytime, it makes the living room really dark.
Oh.
And we're just like, no, we need more light.
Right.
Let there be light. Like we want more light.
For me, it's like, I don't think about lighting besides the fact that like, I'd like to see what's around me. But for some people, the lighting has such an effect on like personal feeling and, you know.
Well, and I'm not big big on a dimly lit room in general. Like I need light to wake up. Like I've talked about this, how like I need
You
light
have issues
to wake
waking up.
Yes.
You're a
Waking
heavy
up is
sleeper.
hard.
Yeah.
Going to sleep, I can do in 5 seconds.
Of
I can do
course.
it here in the middle of the stream.
I'm glad you don't.
But
I'm glad you don't.
But waking up, that's the challenge. Yeah, because I go deep. We go deep and we get too much sleep.
We do get too much sleep. Which, by the way, I know you hate when I say this. It's a 3-day weekend. So I'll get to sleep in for as long as I would like.
How nice.
And like that's gonna be.
See,
really
I have to wake up
great.
even earlier because I have to bring my car into the shop to get the car locks changed.
Oh.
And then I have to walk to work in the morning.
Wait, so wait, you got your car? I mean, we'll talk about it on the podcast because last I saw you, you didn't have your car. So do you
Yeah.
have to bring it? So you went and got it without the locks?
Yeah, because they have to I have to change the locks in my car, and they had to order the locks from the dealership, and so I had the car in the shop for a while.
Right.
And I called them on Friday. I was like, "Hey, like, is it going to be done today?" And they were like, "No, we still haven't gotten them in." And I was like, "Okay, well, I need my car this weekend. Can I just like get?" Because the place I'm getting my car fixed is literally like a block away, and so I was like, "Hey, okay, well, I'm going to pick it up today and use the car over the weekend and just bring it back Monday."
All right.
Sarah's also working tomorrow.
Okay,
We're in this
that's
together,
good.
Sarah. Sarah the beautiful.
High five to everyone who's off tomorrow. I'm working today. Jeff says, well, Jeff, you have an interesting schedule, right? Like you work, well, I won't say what field. I don't know how much privacy you want. Your field, I feel like, requires you there, but you get weekends during the week sometimes. So we love that.
Sure.
I get a 5-day weekend, literally, Ricky.
Okay.
What's your job? I want that. I'm not an overhead lights person. It's too abrasive for my liking. That was a Beyonce quote. I'm not, in fact, not a black girl. That's funny. Yeah, I remember she said that, but then I think she did have a performance with the blue light after that. And so it's like, Beyonce has grown. She's changed. We've all heard Texas Hold'em. Which, by the way, I mean, we'll talk about it, but it's becoming such a big hit already.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Why are you shocked?
I'm shocked. I mean,
It's Beyonce.
I know it's Beyonce, but it's like, I don't know. I just didn't expect it out of the gate to be as huge as it is. Because it's like she's doing a complete genre turn.
But that's why I figured it would be a big hit, because everyone would be like, what is this? Even if like you're not a person who follows Beyonce, you're just like, what is this?
And like I feel like country people are so excited that Beyonce's doing country, which is like, well, besides that one, country station that was not excited initially, but is excited now. Yeah, it's President's Day. Do a better announce her album this week. It's been too long. Also, we know it's going to be 11 tracks like Future Nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume she's going to announce an album date soon, right? We follow the school system schedule. The time off is so nice. That is nice. But yeah, no, I'm just having the Monday. But I'll take the Monday, babe. I'm excited.
Take the Monday.
Beyonce's pulling crazy numbers with this era. I'm thrilled. It is thrilling.
Her budget got bigger. Her team knows how to light tan skin.
Beyonce's? I mean, she's got quite the budget. Well, Matt Steele actually has to leave early today, so
Not like insanely early.
not insanely,
Yeah.
but we should get started.
Let's just get started.
Let's get started.
I mean, it's a slow news week as well.
I mean, it's
guys,
gonna
so
be
it's
short.
Not going to be the longest of
It's
podcasts.
true. It's true.
But you know what? Sometimes the shorter songs on the albums are good.
Absolutely.
This
This is going to be
podcast.
like a Gen Z length.
Okay.
2 minutes, 30 seconds podcast. Okay.
All right, guys. We just discussed how there's not a lot of news this week.
Yes.
So we're going to say this is going to be like a Gen Z length podcast.
Yes.
This might be our shortest podcast. It can't be. We've had shorter than this will probably end up
I'm
being.
sure, because the thing is, even when there's not a lot of news, we blab on a lot.
We
and we
do.
have a couple of emails, so
We
we're going to
do.
email my heart. I think it's going to be a great length, a perfect length. Everyone, buckle up.
We're setting everyone up for like, oh, this is going to be the greatest podcast ever. Watch it
didn't-
just be fine.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said a great length.
All right, guys, get ready for the most mid podcast you've ever heard. Welcome.
Oh, Lord. You want me to start?
Sure, you start.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt
And
Palmer.
it's Matt Steele.
And we are back again for another week that I feel like last week, ever since we did the podcast in which we listened to those Beyonce songs live before we recorded the podcast, it has been nonstop a bit.
Sure.
We got a very big announcement in My Culture on Wednesday, and that song was released the following day. And I feel like these past couple of days, I've just been beginning to exhale, which is why it's nice that for some of us who work in offices, we have tomorrow off. But I'm excited to breathe again.
That's good. You were waiting to exhale for so long.
I really was.
Now we can begin to exhale, which is the sequel to Waiting to Exhale.
There was unfortunately no sequel, but there should have been. At least there should have been a sequel to that motherfucking soundtrack, which every time that movie comes up, I will say, best soundtrack of all time. Waiting to Exhale.
Would you say it's better than the Bodyguard soundtrack?
Well, the Bodyguard is only like 6 Whitney tracks and then like some instrumental saxophone moments. So the highs are obviously the 6 great songs. Well, 5. You know I don't like that dance song, The Queen of the Night, I've never liked. But as like there's like 16, 15 tracks on Waiting to Exhale. All of them written by Babyface. All of them performed by different R&B artists I love. Come on.
Okay,
it's
guys,
hard to
this
beat.
might be like a hot take here.
I don't think that's hot. I mean, I love the Bodyguard soundtrack. Clearly, it's a classic, but Waiting to Exhale touches a soul. And even, why does it hurt so bad? You know how I feel about that song.
I know how you feel about that song.
So
I can't say I've ever listened to the soundtrack, but I mean, I watched the movie with you many years ago.
You should listen to the soundtrack. Okay. It's truly excellent, thrilling. Some of the best Babyface writing there ever was.
I want just the Angela Bassett monologue set to music. That to me would be the best soundtrack of all time.
I don't know
where she's in the closet screaming about her husband after he cheated on her, rips all of his clothes out and lights them, puts them in a car and lights the car on fire.
I mean, that part of the movie is used in the music video for "Not Gonna Cry" by Mary J. Blige. If that's what you're asking.
Okay, well, what I want now is an opera made of the movie Waiting to Exhale, and I want that moment of the score. Imagine what that would sound like.
Remember when we said this was going to be short and we spent 10 minutes?
And we're talking about the opera version of Waiting to Exhale. Guys, this is why we are here, 2Gay Mats.
It really is. Matt Steele,
yes.
How was your week?
My week was very nice. I don't know. I worked. I didn't have a car much because I'm getting the locks replaced on my car because someone tried to break into my car and tried to they just only damaged the lock. They didn't damage anything else in my car. But of course, the one car lock is damaged, so I have to replace all the locks in my car. I only have a 2-door car, so can't be much of a challenge.
Right.
It's actually much less expensive than I anticipated.
You told me the number, and I was like, all right, work.
I know. I can now. Do I want to pay that? No. But is it less than what I thought I would be paying?
Yes.
So you know what? We take our wins where we can in this life. So I didn't have a car for a bit. And what else did I do? I went to Pasadena to see my friend Megan and her husband and little baby Leander, who is now 9 months old, and my friend Lauren came, who has a 3-month-old named Harrison. And while we were there, one of my best friends from New Jersey, Amanda, had a baby.
Oh wow!
She texted us and was just like, "I'm going in for a C-section," and and then a couple minutes later, she was literally like, "Baby's here!" And so she had a beautiful baby boy named Hugo. So congratulations to Amanda. And so I was just surrounded by babies as I was hearing about new babies in my life, and I was just like, "Oh God, being a gay uncle is so exhausting."
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work because you are single-handedly responsible for making sure all of those kids make it to Broadway, and that's a lot of pressure. If anyone can do it, it is me.
I don't know if that's the journey for every single child in your orbit, that they must make it to Broadway. And I don't know that it's your responsibility to make sure they do.
What else does a gay uncle do?
I think a gay uncle needs to connect with the children, make sure they're not homophobic, teach them about the divas, and also take out the mom and be like, you're still a person too, away from your child.
Okay, yeah, but you teach them about the divas. What divas? Cheetah Rivera.
Well, you can pick the divas.
Okay.
You can pick the divas, but they don't have to become Cheetah Rivera is what I'm saying.
Everyone should be.
I just don't want these little kids to have a lot of pressure on them. You know what I'm saying?
But pressure makes you strive for success.
It's true. Look at Beyonce.
Look at
It
Beyonce.
Worked out for her.
I am the gay Matthew Knowles, and I have about 40 Beyoncés in the palm of my hand. And just wait until I unleash that empire onto the world. Broadway is not ready.
I don't know if you're back on the dating apps or not, but I think if there was a subtitle for you as the gay Matthew Knowles, you'd get a lot of responses.
Okay.
What does this mean? Tell me more.
I wouldn't have to change my name.
Something that's true.
Yeah.
The Matthew would work.
I know. So what did you do this week?
This week, what did I do? Well, Wednesday was a great day for many reasons. It was Valentine's Day. And so Jackson and I, exchanged cards and things. And then we went and got sushi at Sugarfish, which I very much love. But it's like a place that you don't get reservations for. And so we're like, oh my God, we're going to go. Are they ever going to seat us? Whatever. And we get there and they're like, it's like 8:15 Valentine's night. They're like, all right, yeah, I'll be like 25, 30 minutes. I was like, yes!
Oh my God, that is so short for Sugarfish?
So short. I was so thrilled. We just went a little walk around the block, came back, we're seated immediately. I got not just the Trust Me, which I usually get, but I got the Trust Me Nozawa, which is $10 more and like 2 more sushi items. And I was like so full, so happy. One of my favorite restaurants. Amazing. And then also that was the day that Mariah and Ariana had announced that the Yes and remix was coming. Hearing Mariah Carey on a dance track. If you want to see my feelings about that, we have a whole full reaction video up on our YouTube channel at the very moment. And then I'm trying to think of what else I did this week. On Friday, we went over to our friends Joe and Tim. They had a Lunar New Year party. And so that was very fun, very exciting. We came with like $40 in small bills of $1. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of like different sort of gambling-esque parlor kind of games where like basically they had 3 die with 6 sides on it, and they all had different animals that like in like a gourd, and it's animals in a gourd. And so you had to be like, if I put $1 on the gourd and one of the dice rolls gourd, I get double my money back.
Okay.
And I, as you've seen me in Vegas, I'm not the most I'm a bad gambler. I'm very much like, no, my $1 is gone, and like it's the end of my life.
It's not for you.
It's
Gambling
not for me.
You posted that thing on Instagram of you just like slowly counting the money, and like everyone else is just sitting there like watching, because they know like, oh, I'm just gambling away $2. But Matt Palmer's like looking at everyone and just like counting his money, and he's just like, okay, what do I do? And you see the panic on his face.
There's absolutely a panic, but I had a lot of fun. I only left down $3, and because 2 of the envelopes I got from the money tree, 2 of them were 10s, and I was like, yes.
Okay.
So whatever.
So you're owed $3. So you know what that means.
What?
Join www.patreon.com/2gaymats. Help him get his $3 back.
Yes, please help me get my $3 back. It would mean everything to me.
Yeah.
And then
he's struggling over here.
I'm really struggling.
Yeah. How are you going to get those Apple Vision Pros?
I know. I'm further and further away every day. And then on Saturday, we went actually to USC because Jackson's cousin goes there and is in a sketch comedy group. And so we saw a sketch comedy performance. It was them and also a team from, I want to say, a Boston college. I forget the college.
There's a trillion colleges
some college in Boston.
I remember visiting because I had a friend who went to Emerson and a friend who went to MIT, and I remember visiting them my freshman year of college, and we were just walking around Boston, and they were just like, oh yeah, this is this college, this is that college.
Emerson.
Like, there's a trillion colleges. Oh, Emerson. Okay.
Emerson.
My friend who just had the baby went to Emerson. That's it. And Travis went to Emerson, my roommate.
Oh, I love Travis.
Look at this, an Emerson crowd right here. We should be wearing, what colors are they? I don't know.
There's no way to know that. And so that was very fun. And then today I also was on Gunkle duty. I went over to Jeff and Jean's. They're on the west side, and hung out with their 2 kids, Owen and Josie. They're just the cutest things in the world. We, hung out, went to the park, and Owen is now at an age where like I feel like must be so nice for the parents where obviously he wants to play, he wants to interact, but he also can do what? Play by himself.
Yes.
And like really enjoy it. He's just a room away. We can hear that he's not broken anything. And while we talk, and like, I just feel like being a parent in my head feels hard for so many ways, like in so many ways. But part of it is like, your self-image. Like, do you think of yourself, you're like a parent first, but for a few years there, kind of a parent only. Like there's just only so many things you can do and feel like an adult that is your age, and not like I am an authority figure for this young person I'm raising.
Yeah, but guess what? You are a gay uncle always until that kid has the Tony Award in hand.
You are, but you see, you do your work, and then you go home. It's like you're a part-time.
No, but you always got to be planning. You think Matthew Knowles slept a wink when Beyonce was in school or whatever?
Sweetie.
Matthew Knowles was like, okay, what can I do today to help Beyonce?
Unless it's my child, I promise I'm not thinking about your kid that much. No shade. I love all of your kids.
Listen,
if we're friends.
Josie and Owen, come to me. I will teach you how to tap dance. It'll be great.
I don't know if they need that. Is that something they need?
I don't know.
That's
something everyone needs.
It's true. Okay. Well, I guess we should jump into the news for idiots because I should talk about that.
Okay. Because news is important.
News is so important, and there was
kind of
not a lot of news this week, but we're going to try to discuss a little bit of it. The first thing I wanted to talk about, I can't get up on my phone, so I'm going to have to remember it as much as I can.
All right.
Kelly Rowland.
Okay. I have no idea what this story is.
She was set to co-host the Today Show.
Okay.
I believe she is in a new Tyler Perry, I think, movie on Netflix. She is promoting that. And so she was going to promote, I think she was co-hosting with Hoda, I want to say.
Okay.
And so she is there. And apparently she gets to the dressing room. It is not up to snuff. J-Lo is a guest on the Today Show that week. And even though Kelly is, the supposed co-host, J-Lo's dressing room is the much better dressing room of the options available.
Okay.
And so Kelly does what? Because Matthew Knowles taught her.
Yeah, the gunkle taught her.
She gets up and leaves. Kelly does not do any sort of co-hosting on the Today Show, and this all gets out publicly. Rita Ora apparently was close by and was able to.
Rita Ora is always close by.
She really is. Just in case someone backs out because of a dressing room issue.
She's ready to jump on.
Rita,
she's about to be, next time one of us is sick and we can't do the podcast, Rita Ora is ready to become one of the two gay masks.
Absolutely she is.
And she'd be great.
So Rita has confirmed that she was asked to co-host the Today Show last minute after Kelly Rowland walked off set. She says, well, this happened. She showed it in a Friday slideshow of photos and videos featuring her co-hosting alongside Hoda Kotb. Is that your name? Kotb? We had 2 minutes to prepare. Thank you, Hoda and Jenna, for asking me to co-host the show. Ora then graciously praised the Today Show staff, adding, everyone was so lovely and kind. I had so much fun doing it. Love to everyone who tuned in. Maybe we should do more. And so they were all very happy. But except Kelly was not. She was initially supposed to guest co-host, but didn't feel like things were up to par.
Okay, well, first of all, Rita Ora, great job. Like, I think that's wonderful that she's just like willing to jump in there and like, help them out. Like, that is excellent. She's well trained for that. Had the right gay uncle who taught her well. Kelly Rowland. Wasn't it already like established like what was in the contract or something like that?
That's what I'm
wondering.
Was the writer not mad? Like the thing is, I don't know enough of the information to know who's truly in the wrong. I know that I would also be pissed if I was supposed to co-host and then a guest got a better dressing room than me.
Sure, but what I would. The thing is, like, I would just be so happy to be there. I can't put myself in like Kelly Rowland's position, but I'm trying to put myself in Kelly Rowland's position. And if she was promised these things, but yet I still also made the commitment to it, and also was trying to promote this thing that I was trying to promote.
Right.
Like, I would be like, okay, today is not okay. Tomorrow, I want more.
Right.
You know, I would either like a raise of some sort or like put me in the big dressing room tomorrow with like extra things. I don't know. Like if there's a way to.
I think she was just supposed to co-host that one day.
Oh, was it? Oh, for some reason in the story, I was thinking she was supposed to be there multiple days.
I think it was just supposed to be that day. And to me, I can see it from both sides, but I am thinking about it like if I had been in the industry since 1998 and like my closest friend and confidant is Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like why I get treated this way, no one would ever treat Beyonce that way.
Yeah.
Like why would I go into the situation where I am being undervalued? And yes, you've made a commitment. You should absolutely, follow through on your commitments. But also, you know me, I will not be disrespected.
Sure.
If there's a way for me to turn off completely, say something disrespectful to me, and the wall will go up, the ice will go out, I would walk off that set. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I'm of two minds. I would like to know more information as far as like, were the requirements on the writer met?
Yeah.
And if they were not, then that's
understandable.
That's understandable. You know, that was the part of the agreement.
Yeah. They're saying in the chat, Janie is the Rita Ora of the pod.
I mean, I think only in that Janie's willing to come and be a part of things whenever need be. I would never.
And she's also beautiful.
Of course beautiful, but I would never give Janie a worse situation than someone else. You know, like there would never be a J-Lo in our situation.
Janie's dressing room at the 2 Gay Max is the biggest.
We are in bunkers compared to her suite.
I literally stay under the desk when we're not podcasting.
Yes.
But Janie has the whole apartment to herself.
Yes. So Rita Ora, and that she's an incredible co-host, and we're lucky to know her, but not in the way that she accepts something worse than she should. Okay. So we're going to go back to Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Back to Wednesday.
The day of love.
The day of
where
love.
It all happens.
And Ariana and Mariah post on their Instagram. They do one of those like combination posts. Ariana has posted, I cannot believe the words I am typing. Yes, and remix featuring the one and only queen of my heart and lifelong inspiration Mariah Carey is out this Friday. There are truly no words that suffice. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this dream come true and for sprinkling your brilliance and magic onto my little song. It means more to me than I could possibly articulate, and I cannot wait for everyone to hear this. I love you eternally. She like referred to her as the inspiration of her life. Like the reverence, the point of view that Ariana is speaking with, I very much can relate to. If Mariah Carey collaborated with me on literally anything, I'd be over the fucking moon.
If Mariah like looked in your direction,
hello,
what would the Instagram post say?
It would be a monologue. It'd be so fucking long. And so of course it comes out Thursday night. I'm with Matt Steele. We react. I'm over the moon about it. Everything's great. Everything's great. I post, and then I'm seeing people in the Discord who are visiting their Twitter pages, which, like, by the way, no one go to Twitter ever. Twitter's, especially when it's like, I'm excited about this thing, I wonder what people think of it. Never worry about that, and also don't check Twitter.
Yeah, it's going to ruin your day.
It's going to ruin your day.
Yes.
Unfortunately, some Twitter opinions have found their way to me, and I just must say, if you have issues with the mixing of this song, that is fine. If you're saying they don't sound great together, I do think it is odd that Mariah is belting the whole time and Ariana didn't re-record her vocals to match Mariah's energy. But, fine, whatever. Apparently, there might have been some mixing issues that are supposed to be fixed on the new version on Spotify. All of these things, fine. If you have these criticisms, that's okay. And, I'm sad you can't enjoy it the way I enjoyed it.
Before you go on, I just want to say to the untrained ear who knows nothing about mixing or whatever, it sounds fine to me.
It sounded fine.
Yeah.
But to anyone who has said or made some allusion to Mariah not sounding good or being like, why is she being so loud? Let me talk to all of you. You've clearly never heard a song from the 90s that is in the house style in the early 90s. They would have these giant vocalists that they were like, we don't even need you to be in the music video. We want you to sing your face off like it's a gospel record over this house music that Ariana is pulling from on the song. So of course Mariah's going to go in like, yeah, I've done house mixes before. I am going to be singing my face off because I'm in good voice. And that's the whole thing of house music in the 90s.
And I am Mariah Carey.
And I'm Mariah fucking Carey. So the argument, which is just crazy to me, it was so much so that when Mariah decided to sing softly come 97, come Butterfly era, it was just like, oh, why isn't she on her voice anymore? Oh, she just isn't singing like she used to. I can't believe this. I'm so upset that she's whisper singing this whole song. And then she gets the song in the mail from Ariana Grande, in which Ari's whisper singing the whole time, which is the new style, which... Who started that? And Mariah decides to belt on it. And it's like, why is she so loud? Oh my God, this doesn't sound the way the original does. It's like, of course it fucking doesn't. And it just goes to show there's nothing a person can do, a woman especially can do, to make all of you people happy. If she decides to belt, it's too loud. If she decides to whisper, it's too soft. Her voice is so severely damaged. XYZ, it's like, fuck you. She has been singing at the top of her range for all of her life. She has come in on this girl who, again, was introduced to the world as the new Mariah Carey. They've made peace. She's come and really put her heart and soul into this record, and you're going to talk shit about her vocals? Wrong. You're all wrong, and you should feel stupid. You should look in the mirror and say, I don't know anything. Because Mariah's vocal has been a topic of conversation for as long as she's been alive, and people always have something negative to say. We have a lovely new lamb in the Discord who was like, I wish I could have gone back to 1996. Everyone loved her back then, XYZ. And let me tell you, no, they didn't. People always had something rude to say about her vocally, about the way she dressed, about the way she looked. I recently saw a picture of her in 1998 where she's as thin as a fucking rail in the comments, oh, look at the thunder thighs on Mariah. It's just being a woman in this industry at any time, but especially in the 90s when Mariah came up, was fucking dreadful. So all you Gen Z kids who don't know shit, shut the fuck up, because you don't know what she's been through, how she got here, and the effort, and how amazing she fucking sounds today, and the decision she made and why she made it. Okay? Leave Mariah alone. God.
Thank you so much for joining us here today at Two Gay Mats. We've had a great podcast. We said this is going to be the shortest podcast ever. That was breathtaking.
I just can't take it. And the thing is, this is why I don't generally look at our comments. I would even argue on most videos, Matt Steele is more likely to hop in and be like, actually, you're wrong and you're an idiot because...
Yes, because when the thing is, I don't care if we get a negative comment. I truly don't give a fuck. But if someone is factually incorrect or tries to say that we said something in the video that we actively didn't, I will be like, no, I will correct you here with this information. Yes. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
The thing is, guys, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. She is Mariah Carey.
Right.
She knows what she is doing far more than you ever will. She knows more about music than 99.99999999999% of anyone watching any content on YouTube knows about music.
Absolutely.
Okay? She knows what she is doing. If she is this sounds good.
Right.
Then it's yes.
Yes,
this was the intention. And she sounds great. She sounds objectively great on the remix.
Right.
Because she's Mariah Carey.
Hello.
She knows what she's doing. If she sounded bad, she would not have put it out.
Right. I'm excited for her new music. I'm excited to hear what that's going to sound like.
And just the new ad-libs on it, it's just impeccable. She's a musician with her vocal cords.
Absolutely, she is.
She is excellent. Matt Palmer, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
You got out what you
I
needed to
had
get
to
out?
get it off my chest because I was reading those comments in our comments and just throughout the ether that have come to me, and it just made me a little sick. And I'm glad that we can all share in this moment together of me letting it out. I'm letting it go. I promise not to bring this up again about this song. But if it comes up again, it might come up again, but not about Yes and Remix. Like it, don't like it, think it's cut and paste, whatever. Do not come from Mariah's vocal performance. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then what's the next news topic?
Speaking of iconic vocal performers, Selena Gomez has announced a new single, Love On.
Love On.
It comes out on February 22nd. Great.
Okay, great. We love that.
We
Selena
love
Gomez
that.
is
She
great.
looks like she's at like an, some sort of Airbnb or like an
Yeah.
all-inclusive hotel.
Right by the ocean.
Yeah.
She said that this might be her last album.
I heard
So was
that.
this like the first single off of
I think
the...
Single Soon was the first single.
Was it? Oh, I thought that the people in the comments of that video when we reviewed it were just like, this isn't a real single. This isn't a real thing. And it was just like, okay.
I thought it was a real single. I was
Okay.
confused by it, but I think it's really happening. There's also rumors that Olivia Rodrigo is going to be putting out her deluxe of Guts very soon.
Oh, I'm ready for that.
I'm very ready for that. And the rumor is that the first single from the deluxe edition might come out next week.
Oh.
None of this is based in fact, but there's things I've heard since, again, I've been in the ether taking a lot of opinions. So that is something coming around. I would be excited
So is
to see
that going to be like the official second single off of Guts, since it seems like we haven't had an official second single off of
guess.
Guts? The fact that Get Him Back was not
Wild.
an official single
Wild.
and not the smash hit that it objectively is,
Yes.
is just devastating.
It's shocking.
Because that is a song.
And in re-listening to Guts today, I was like, this is an incredible record. Like, I'm excited we're getting a deluxe edition and these bonus tracks that used to just be scattered on different vinyl editions. But there was an album era in this album as it was.
Completely.
And why her team didn't, I don't know, pick a second single and stick to it, pick a third single and stick to it.
Especially because there was a great music video for Get Him Back.
There was. And
Like,
there
it's
was an Apple tie-in for that video.
Yeah, it was a commercial. It was like a commercial music video, which like rarely goes well.
Right.
And this was great.
Which is like, I just don't get why. I don't understand why this happened. I'm glad the music is so good. She still excites me. I love her to no end.
Yeah.
I wish the era had gone differently. I don't wish the Guts album had gone differently because it's excellent.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the deluxe.
All right.
All right. Excited for that. Did you see that someone who was called a teacher in a headline lost their teaching job over an OnlyFans account?
Yes, I saw it on Twitter.
And then you click the link because you're
click
like,
the
what are
link.
you talking about? And the Tucson teacher is Rachel Dolezal.
Like, because people on Twitter were just like, I know we just said don't go on Twitter, but
Right.
but like people on Twitter like just like posted this story with like no picture,
Yes.
and they were like, guys, click the link and see who it is. It is worth it, and
And it was.
worth it. It was.
I mean, I didn't know that Rachel had an OnlyFans. And to me, it's like, I'm of several minds about this because it's like, okay, you should be able to have, sex work is work. But it's like, I would hope that you had a pseudonym where people couldn't find you because it's like, you don't need your students finding your OnlyFans.
You're Rachel Dolezal. Like you were like a pop culture.
You're a public figure.
You're a public figure in a very weird way.
Very weird way.
I mean, that was such a moment of that time.
really
the Rachel
was.
Dolezal of it all. So like, if you're gonna have an OnlyFans, you have to know like people will know I'm Rachel Dolezal.
Exactly.
Like people are subscribing because I'm Rachel Dolezal.
Right.
Like, and it's the novelty of it all, I guess. So. I don't know.
Racial? Is that what her
She was
argument
trying
was?
to say she was transracial. But no, she wasn't even like talking about it.
Oh, she just was lying and saying she was black.
She was living like as a black woman, and she famously, when she was being interviewed on the news, they were just like, "So, like, are you black?" And she was just like, I don't understand the question."
It's been so long that I've truly forgotten the details,
When
but
was
I
that?
just remember it was weird.
2017?
Maybe. It definitely was,
The
yeah.
discourse surrounding that was just, I was just like, whew, I'm
shocking.
tired.
It was shocking. Well, speaking of podcasting duos like the two of us, the Kid Mero has apparently started a new podcast without Deezus and has discussed what happened as far as the breakup of Deezus and Mero. These are two podcasters turned TV stars. They had a show on Vice, and I think they ended up having a show on Showtime that ended or got canceled, and then their podcast like disappeared very strangely, and they're no longer working together, which is always like, what happened there. Yeah. And so this is the first that I believe either of them has like publicly in a long form way addressed it. Meryl has said it's the business. There's no friends in the business. You know what I'm saying? We was in a situation where I got 4 kids, 2 mortgages. You know where I live, Joe. The taxes are crazy. I got real life situations going on. So I'm like, yo, if we get an offer from DraftKings for $1.5 million before they got logos on the NBA court, and you're like, nah, bro, this ain't it. And I'm like, nah, fam, I'm gambling illegally right now. This shit is legal in Jersey. I just moved here. This is going places, bro. We need to do this. And they're like, nah. I'm like, fuck out of here. To me, that's the beginning of like, all right, this shit is corroding. We're on different wavelengths. It seems like Meryl also wanted more ownership, making Desus and Meryl into a production company, XYZ. And then after all of this came out, of course, Desus retweeted all of it and basically said this is all a lie. And like, as much as we always are talking about, like, you know, if Bobby and Tan on Queer Eye are feuding, or if, you know, everyone on The View hates each other, straight guy beef's pretty good too. Right?
Well, because they take it very seriously. And they are very hurt.
They're very hurt. Yes. And like, I feel like the masculinity trappings of being a man are like, oh, I can't fully express the way I feel because that comes off as gay or something. But I'm like, there's as much drama going on in your circles as there are in ours.
They also try to like, so to sort of make up for that, they sort of like try to one up each other with like insults or something like that. I don't understand much about this story other than that, like 2 podcasters are feuding. Their podcasts have disappeared.
Yes.
Will that ever happen to us?
I don't believe so. Okay. I think we work well together, and we both are like of the same mind of what we want for 2 gay mats.
Okay.
In a way that Desus and I don't imagine one of us is going to like turn down a $1.5 million deal at any point. No. We're both pretty much like,
I don't care how small my dressing room is. I won't turn down a $10,000 deal.
Hey, I mean, depends on the deal.
Unless
it's like promote Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans, I'd be like, pass.
I mean, one day if we're like ever as big as them, then maybe I'd be like, ooh, can we bump it up to 20,000?
And this is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like at this very moment, I'll accept the Today Show dressing room as is. J-Lo can get the bigger one.
I don't need a dressing room. I will sit there in the chair at the desk. They can do my makeup there. I don't need to relax in a dressing room.
Do you think you'll feel that same way 20 years from now after you've been in the biz being successful 20 years running?
Knowing me a little bit.
Let me tell you all, I will not.
I would rather get a higher paycheck and a worse like accommodation, like dressing room or whatever, than have like the real nice dressing room or whatever. I'd be like, put it in my paycheck.
I mean, if I don't know why I have to pick one or the other.
I mean, sure.
You know, I'd like both. Why not both? So yes, as of now, I'll eat scraps, but not forever.
Not forever.
Not forever, baby.
Yeah.
This was the weirdest story, and I just need to discuss it. I don't know if you don't watch The Housewives of Miami, which, by the way,
This is weirder than the Rachel Dolezal.
It has more twists and turns.
Okay.
That was pretty much like she was on OnlyFans and got fired.
Okay.
This is like Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen. If you don't watch Housewives of Miami, Larsa Pippen is the ex-wife of Scottie Pippen and was dating Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan. And they were both on The Traitors recently. If people are watching The Traitors, that's where you would know them from. On Valentine's Day, they confirmed their breakup to People magazine. They unfollowed each other. Larsa took to Instagram stories to be like, should your friends unfollow your ex-boyfriend? Like, and put a poll up. And like, Marcus, who like his dad very famously did not like that he was dating Larsa, like spent Valentine's Day with his dad and he posted about it. It was like MJ2 is back, whatever. And then maybe 12 hours later, they were seen out in public together, buying each other flowers, immediately back together, refollowed. And it's like, are you guys so desperate for attention that this was fake? Or did you actually break up and it only lasted for 12 hours? And if you break up for less than 12 hours, do you need to be confirming it to people? It seems like you shouldn't have, because now you're back together and you wasted all of our time.
This is nothing to confirm. You just basically confirmed we got into a fight.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So someone reached out to people, or people may have reached out to them and they were like, yeah, we broke up. And it's like, you need to give the breakup a while to settle, because people go back and forth.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, you know, it's Valentine's Day. Emotions are running high.
It's true.
The Traitors is in full swing, which, like, that last episode, bullshit.
You're so mad. Okay, spoiler alert for The Traitors. If you're not caught up on Traitors US, we're going to spoil it a bit. I understand why you're upset, but like they have to fulfill a certain episode order. Like to me, maybe you're going to say that's the flaw of the game, which sure it is. But of course that they were going to need to like recruit another traitor after 2 traitors.
On episode 9.
The show's not over yet. They have to fill out what, 13 episodes?
Ridiculous. It's just everyone, like the entire show is just setting up for a traitor to win. And that traitor that's going to win is, I would assume is going to be Kate.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I
because
don't know.
Phaedra, I'd be very shocked if they don't banish Phaedra.
I don't know.
I'd be shocked if they don't, because they were very close to banishing Phaedra.
They were.
And so then Kate is going to be the one left over because they don't expect there to be they don't expect Kate to be a traitor because she wasn't a traitor for 9/10 of the game.
Sure. But I feel like there's some heat around Peter. The outside people who don't like that Peter has gotten this the most faithful group together. I feel like he could get banished. I absolutely think there is a world in which Phaedra still wins.
Whatever.
I do.
Team Trishelle.
Oh, fuck Trishelle.
Trichelle's great on traitors. I think she's doing a good job.
It's hard because Trishelle is...
Yes.
This time she's right. She wasn't right about Peppermint, and I have not forgotten that.
Well, no one's right the first week.
I know,
the
but she
episode,
certainly is very actively going against the black girls. And she's right about Phaedra.
Okay, one of those black girls.
It still doesn't look great. And just Trishelle has been causing trouble since that hot tub in Vegas. And it's you better leave Phaedra alone. Every time that someone comes for Phaedra, even though I know she is a traitor, I'm like, you shut up.
Listen,
Peter.
That was the hot tub of destiny because Trishelle has been making great TV ever since.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm rooting for Trishelle for this season of Traitors because the game is broken.
The thing is, Trishelle is making herself too much of a target, I think.
Oh, sure.
I feel like the faithful if the faithful wins, I want it to be Sandra. I think Sandra is playing
Sandra's
the best
great.
game
Yeah.
outside of Phaedra. And I think she would have earned it. I think Peter is so fucking annoying. If he wins, I'll be furious. If Trishelle wins, I'll be annoyed, but ugh, fine. You were right about Phaedra.
Peter has solid instincts about people, but he's not seeing the forest for the trees.
No.
He's very much just the goal is just to get out the traitors. And it's well, no, the goal is to last the longest.
Right. The goal is to win.
Build alliances,
And if Peter had done the fucking cool thing and accepted the invite to the recruitment to be a traitor, then that would have made the show so much more interesting. And he was just no, I'm a faithful to the end. I have to win the right way. It's bitch, this is a show about winning the money, not about being a faithful. It's called Traitors. It's not called Faithfuls.
But I'm happy that Kate's gonna get some money.
I am too,
because Kate single-handedly saved season 1. I feel Kate was the reason why I was okay, I enjoy this.
Yes, and it's good, and I'm excited still, and I realize that it's late in the game to be adding new traitors.
Yes, it is,
but it still will be fun to watch. I think
it's cute to watch.
It's cute to watch. I think the reminder. I think Parvati said this in an interview after the show or something, but she's the thing about Traitors versus a Survivor or versus Big Brother. Traitors is a television show first.
Sure.
If the game comes second. But I also have heard that the game is played so incredibly on I think I want to say Australia season 2 or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of interested in going to some of the international Traitors seasons and to see how that's played. Because right now I'm having a great time, even though I hear the complaints from the competitive reality TV people. But I'm enjoying myself. And I won't enjoy myself anymore if y'all banish Phaedra. So justice for Phaedra.
Okay, but you'll only have one episode without Phaedra.
I can't take the one episode. I can't take the one episode.
Have a finale without Phaedra.
I really can't. Okay. Speaking of all of this, I guess the only other thing, your friend Julie Chen Moonves.
Yes.
Her husband has been fined. Did you see this?
No.
He was fined $11,250 for inducing an LAPD captain to misuse his position. Friday evening, when you release all the important news, the Los Angeles City Ethics Commission released documents saying that Moonves got involved about one of his sexual assault cases from a captain in the Hollywood division named Corey Palka. Palka is now retired from the LAPD. Let's see. James's office released a text from Palka after Les Moonves resigned in the face of the accusations in 2018. I am deeply sorry this happened. I will always stand by and pledge my allegiance to you. Apparently, the Ethics Commission said that they were beyond outrage and that this is a stunning example of what some refer to as old-time cronyism? I don't know what that is. Cronyism? Oh, croning. And that goes to the heart of corruption. I just wonder about your friend, Julie Chen Moonves.
Okay.
She leaving him ever?
Girl, I don't know. I can't speak on that.
Yeah, I feel like
I didn't fully understand this story. As it seems like he paid a guy to like get information?
I think he just like was interfering in an investigation against him, and he had people on the police force, like a police chief, in his back pocket.
Gotcha.
So
okay, yeah, that is wrong.
Julie Chen Moonves always likes to say she's Julie Chen Moonves. She has her, her podcast where she says she's, very Christian now and views as Big Brother from a Christian lens, but she's still married to this corrupt person. How does that make you feel about her?
Girl, I'm not her.
How do you feel about her?
I don't know her.
Your feelings about her have not changed.
No,
My
feelings of her are just like, that is her husband. It is her life.
I hope she divorces him.
And I know neither of them.
I know her to be wrong in this case. I know her to be wrong. Les has hurt Janet Jackson, and now he's hurt democracy.
I mean, the thing is, like, he is her husband.
Uh-huh.
So, like, like, if she believes her husband, like, I can't stop her from believing her husband.
Yeah, but this looks like there's a lot of evidence against that.
I mean, sure, yeah, especially this right here.
Right.
But I don't know if she believes him. Like, I if I had her phone number, I'd call her and I'd be like, girl, what's going on? But I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, between now and next week, I hope you get her phone number. You can give her a call.
If I got Julie Chen Moonves' phone number.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Lastly, someone has mentioned, like, you better talk about J-Lo, because I did forget. J-Lo's movie, her musical film, was released. This Is Me Now, a love story, initially debuted with 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. That has gone down to 79% with 34 reviews. Apparently it is, strange and often stunning. Lopez showcases all else how tough it is to express oneself personally after more than 30 years in the public eye, resulting in a just shy of feature-length film that offers much to admire, even if it's not fully successful. Absurd, chaotic, indefinable mess. I loved it. And, I'm going to watch it. I really am. My concern is, at this point, solely the music.
Okay.
Like,
well, what kind of reviews is the album getting? Do you know?
I don't know that anyone's reviewed the album of note that I've seen, at least, but the streams are low. The streams are low.
Is it like the streams are low because the streams for the movie are high and people are choosing to watch the movie? Okay. Well, it wasn't really that publicized.
It wasn't that publicized.
Which is just shocking because it seems like a lot of money was spent on it.
Yes. Yes, but she was the one spending the money.
True.
She foot the bill. She said this is a $20 million gamble.
I mean, the trailer was wild.
The trailer was wild.
And everyone is saying, like, it's crazy. It's a blast. So to me, that sounds like a success.
I don't know. I feel like I'm sure it'll be fun. I will watch it. I want to see the cinematography. I bet it's, overwhelming. I bet it's an overwhelming cinematic at your house experience.
Okay.
But if I were her, would I not initially make sure the music is excellent before doing that? Like, making a huge cinematic masterpiece, which we'll give it I'm going to give it masterpiece right now because I haven't seen it, around music that is not up to par. It doesn't feel like the best investment to me. All I've heard is that they Can't Get Enough and like the remix with Lotto, and that song is very there. But I don't know. I think the music is my only concern. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but it's out now.
Do you think it seems like she was just like, I have this like idea for like a movie first, and then there'll just be music?
Yes.
Instead of just like, oh, I have these great songs.
Right.
Ooh, it's building into something. I feel like there should be a visual element to it.
Yes, that's what I think.
Okay.
Which, I admire her ambition and the fact that she's betting on herself and like an entertainer at this stage of their life. Of course, it's not easy to make a big splash, but I love visuals as much as the next gay because, I've been screaming about Beyonce visuals since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
But we have to put the music first.
Sure.
If at the end of the day, this is a musical film, musical is the first word.
Sure.
So we'll see.
We'll see, guys.
We'll see.
Is Jennifer Lopez the next Martin Scorsese? We'll be the ones deciding.
I mean, I can jump to say no. I could probably tell you no, but you never know.
You never know.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell people?
I don't think so.
Okay, guys. We're going to take a quick break and then be back with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast. Cute. See, 40 minutes.
Guys.
I told you.
I also don't have a giving me moments. So
I don't have a full one. I have a shorty. I have a short one.
Okay, well, let's expand it.
Expand it.
Please expand.
It's currently flopping stream-wise. Oh, the album is actually good. The album was pretty good, to be honest. Interesting. She wrote the movie, and it's noticeable it was written by a novice. Maybe she thinks the music is good. Jordan says you won't be proven wrong. Spoiler.
Okay.
The making of the movie is longer than the movie. I'm more interested in seeing the making of than I was to see the movie. Yeah, I did hear that there's now a documentary that's coming out in a week about making this movie.
Cool.
All of these movie musicals, and none of them are a reboot of Glitter. Oh, J-Lo's film is just The Cell too. Hey, people like The Cell.
Do you guys listen to Zara Larsson because she put out a really good album this month? I didn't know she put it out now.
I didn't know she put it out.
Great.
We love that second album of
Poster
Girl.
We did a review of it on our
was
channel.
It for Patreon or was it?
It was patron requested, so it's now on our Patreon.
Great. So yeah, if you want to see that, go to Patreon. J-Lo thought B was talking to her when she said, "You are the visuals." I will say, and maybe I'll sound delusional. I've been hearing that Act 1 and Act 2 visuals are coming together. Okay. I knew you wouldn't believe.
You've been hearing from who? From whom? Was it from Kelly Rowland?
It was not from Kelly.
Was it from Matthew Knowles?
It was not from Matthew Knowles. It's from one of my insider accounts.
Okay. Which insider account? From one of your insider accounts?
Well, that I follow. I don't have an insider account. But I still believe, to quote Mariah's top 5 hit in 1998, I still believe.
Okay, but if it's a 3-act thing, why would the visuals for Act 1 and Act 2 come at the same time and not Act 3?
Maybe Act 3 is the grand finale. It has its own film. You don't believe it? You didn't believe Act 2 existed, though.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I was like, bullshit.
Yes.
I was like, you're a liar, Beyonce.
And look at her. She proved you wrong.
She proved me.
She proved you.
I love it when Beyonce proves me
Absolutely,
wrong.
Especially when your thought is, it's not happening. It's delusional again, Palmer.
Speaking of Patreon, join the Patreon. We're having a Chapel Roan album listening party on Thursday.
Jeff is right. We are having that for all of our $10 plus patrons. So if you want to be a part of listening to Chapel Roan with us, come join. Patreon.com/2gaymats.
We need a Geely too.
I don't know. I didn't see Geely 1.
Have y'all listened to Usher's new album? It's actually really good. If 4 or 5 of the 20 songs were cut, it would be perfect.
Oh, interesting.
Steele being the voice of reason, sometimes mostly. Me?
Look, he's the voice of reason, but also the negative voice who didn't think Act 2 was coming.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I were Beyonce, I wouldn't be like, put these 2 out and then have an extra little.
I will just I'm going to say 2 things I still believe.
Yes.
I believe we will see visuals from Beyonce for Renaissance and Act 2.
Okay.
And I also believe there will be another Rihanna album. These are things I still believe.
Yeah, I think that another Rihanna album is not out of the realm of possibilities. Neither is the first thing you said.
Which do you think is more likely?
To come first?
No, just to happen.
I don't know. I think they're pretty equal.
Okay.
I think they're both pretty believable.
If you were asked, do you believe these things are happening? What would you say?
Do I would say yes. And the thing is, like, will they be worth? Beyonce's will be worth the while. Yes. But like, will Rihanna's? That's the question. Because she's been not making music for so long. So if she has a comeback, it needs to be the most top tier.
But it's
thing
like,
that's ever happened.
Rihanna. Like, if anybody's going to get good fucking songs from fucking writers and producers, it's Rihanna.
Okay, but like music is so difficult though.
Music is difficult.
If you're out of the game for so long,
right?
Like, it's hard to get people to collab with, because it's like, oh well, where have you been, girl?
I don't think Rihanna's gonna have that problem. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think if anyone can do it, it's her.
Yes.
So, okay. Steele, would you direct Palmer's visual album? What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll show up to set. My dressing room better be great.
Also, I do have a visual EP available. It's called Get Lost. It's available now. Go to your YouTube.
Go to your YouTube. Matt Palmer.
7 tracks.
7 tracks.
The Mariah rant was much needed because the Gen Z generation sounds so dumb when it comes to Mariah, DVH, and overall just a disappointing generation in general. But are we surprised, though? I actually don't think it is a generational thing. I think the way we as society treat artists, especially women, as they age, this is just emblematic of that.
Yeah, and the way we comment on art in general, the way like it's like everyone has to like write out their opinion and post it.
Right. Yeah, people love to have a take that's not based in knowing the history.
People just love a take.
They do love a take.
And sometimes people just love putting out like a negative take.
Yes, true. Rihanna has always been good at picking great songs, so I think she has enough good taste for her next project. I agree. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think the era of longer songs is coming. I'm hearing long intros, double verses, bridges, third chorus, and extended mixes. I hope you're right, Isaac. You know that's nothing that I want more than that.
Short podcasts.
Yes,
long
short.
songs.
Exactly. Are you ready? For
I'm ready.
Second half? Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
Now you got to get out of here.
Well, I mean, it's not that much of a...
You got me nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's fine.
All right.
All right, guys, we're back.
It's true.
And before we get started, we need a commercial.
Oh, yes. Guys, if you are watching or listening to the podcast, thank you so very much. It would mean so much to us if you went to your Spotify or your Apple Podcast, found 2 Gay Mats, and gave us a 5-star rating or review. We do only accept 5 stars, as you know. It just helps the algorithm find us, reach so that this podcast can reach more people. That's what we want. We just want more people to enjoy 2 Gay Mats, the whole podcast situation, the videos on YouTube, all of it. And your rating would help so much towards that. And if you really love us, make sure to become a patron. Go to patreon.com/2gaymats, and for as little as $5 a month, you can become a member of our Patreon, where you get extra bonus content. And for $10, if you are a $10 plus patron, we actually are having a Chapel Roan listening party. We're going to be listening to her album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, which I think is the first time I've remembered the name of that album, on this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be so fun with the $10 plus patrons to listen to that all together. And it'll be available for you as much as, a lot of additional content that's just waiting. You can join the Discord, meet a bunch of friends you haven't met yet. It's just a great place to be.
Yeah, the live listening parties for albums that we already know are very fun.
Yes.
Because we know we don't have to worry,
No.
is this song going to be bad? It's just this album's great.
Yes.
So it's always very fun. So thank you for the commercial.
Of course.
Thank you for those wise words and the
very
promotion.
wise.
But right now, guys, we are on to Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you so much. Do I sound like Mariah in the Yes And remix? Or was that too soft?
It was a little soft. You sound like Ari in the Yes And remix and original.
Okay, I don't think I was that soft. But okay, anyway, so this email comes to us from Durga. Durga's subject line is sad, beautiful, tragic movies. I couldn't resist. Dear Matts, I was already planning on sending this email before listening to last week's podcast episode, but Matt Palmer's Giving Me Moments segment about past lives was perfectly timed because I'm interested in your guys' favorite well-written, sad movies about love and family relationships. Some of my faves are Past Lives, After Sun, La La Land. I've also seen and loved 500 Days of Summer and Call Me By Your Name. So I'd love any recommendations for movies, especially any lesser known ones in that vein, intimate, reflective, and ones that stick with you for a long time. Take care, Durga. Matt Palmer, you have anything to say?
No.
Okay.
I hope you find the movies you're looking for, Durga. And I
Yes.
love you very much.
All those are great options that
Yes.
you listed, but I just have a few more that that just sort of came to top of mind. That they're not all exactly like past lives in the sort of poetic way, but they're smaller, more intimate, slightly sad and tragic films. One of my favorite movies of all time is Ordinary People, Best Picture winner of 1980. It's about, you would love Ordinary People, Matt Palmer.
To watch it.
It has therapy. It's therapy. It's about a family that recently suffered the loss of one of their children. And they're sort of sort of getting through it. It's Timothy Hutton is in it. He won the Oscar. He's the youngest Oscar-winning male actor ever for Best Supporting Actor. Mary Tyler Moore stars in it. She is unbelievable. Donald Sutherland as well also gives truly one of my favorite leading actor performances of all time. He's great. Judd Hirsch is also in it. He's amazing. It's beautiful, intimate, directed by Robert Redford. It's a really, really great film. That was around that time, those sort of small, intimate family movies were very big, the late 70s, early 80s. Kramer versus Kramer won Best Picture the year before. And that's Meryl Streep, Dustin Hoffman, basically a custody battle court drama. If you want a smaller romantic film, not necessarily tragic. I guess there's a little tragedy in it, but it's a little more lighthearted than a Past Lives.
Yeah.
Richard Linklater's Before trilogy, so Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. If you want a little more tragic,
Oh God.
I really enjoyed Mass that came out in 2021 with the 4 actors, the 2 sets of parents meeting together in a church to discuss a shooting at that happened at a school. Just four. Well, there's a few more actors that pop in and out and everything, but mainly it's just the four of them. If you want something real small and intimate, it's really excellent. One of my favorite movies of all time. That's a little bigger. It's not like the most intimate. Well, still have it being like that family drama. The Joy Luck Club from 1993. Excellent cast. It has that poeticism of like a past life situation. I love The Joy Luck Club so much. I was thinking about the 2020 Oscar year, and that was very much because it was the pandemic, the year of like small, intimate, tragic movies.
Yes.
Not super like tragic, but like small, intimate, like sweet movies. So things like Nomadland, Minari, The Father, stuff like that. I think those movies you would like. In America from 2003 is also a great choice. Woody Allen's Interiors, if you want like a very, very, very intimate family drama. Awakenings by Penny Marshall, who's one of my favorite directors. This movie isn't necessarily like tragic, but it has like sad parts, and it's just to me one of the greatest films, greatest ensembles that will ever be assembled, and that is Steel Magnolias. If you have not seen it already, it's a little more funny than tragic.
That's great.
But it is a film, and it is performances. If you want, I was also thinking like, movies with small casts, a lot of movies in like the 60s that were based on like plays, like stage shows where there's just like four characters. Those were very big around like the 60s era. And I think of like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It is tragic. It is sad. It's a lot more volatile than like a past lives, what you're looking for. But still, I would put it in the mix just because it is about family. It is smaller, more intimate, but it's a lot. There's a lot of yelling. And so give that a look. Any of those, check them out. If any of them strike your fancy, go for it.
And I think we probably both have talked about this film because it came out recently, but All of Us Strangers isn't like a world away from this.
How did I not think of it? That's one of my favorite movies of the year.
An excellent film that definitely sticks with you. It stuck with me. So that's another one that I would recommend. Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott do a great job.
Thank you for throwing that in there.
Yes, of course.
Thank you for throwing, because sometimes I forget. Can't think of everything.
I know, you just can. What's the next email?
The next email is from Steven. Stevie says, bad boyfriend. Hi guys, I have to say for the past 4 years, I've definitely been the provider in my relationship and had a great job. 3 months ago, I got laid off due to a company budget cut and things have been really hectic. Luckily, I found a new job last week and things are looking up. Congratulations.
That's great.
The only thing is Valentine's Day is tomorrow and I had to tell my boyfriend I just can't give him anything monetary this year because it's not a necessity. I was actually surprised at how upset he got. Mind you, I pay both our car notes, rent, and his little sister's tuition every year for her middle school and have been doing this even when I was laid off. His defense is how can I afford bills and not one night of fun for us, which I think is outrageous. Is it my fault for making him accustomed to these things? Do you think I should at least do a little something for him? Thanks, guys. Stevie.
No. Look, I read this email and I think I was like walking to the gym and my mouth was agape. Like, okay, if this was the agreement when you got together, like, and again, this is no shade, this is no judgment, but if it is supposed to be a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship, I understand that maybe this is what it was. But he, even in that situation, should understand, oh, things have changed. Like, I've not had a job for a couple of months and I'm just getting back on my feet. Let's not do anything and splurge anything to make sure that we can still pay all of those bills that you are paying. But if this is not the situation, if it is not supposed to be a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation and not one that you're agreeing to, I think the dynamics of this relationship are incredibly unbalanced and strange. And honestly, I think it's not safe for either of you, because what happens, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that you guys are together forever. But if you're not, can he pay his rent? Mm-hmm. Can his little sister go to school? Can he, pay his car note? He's putting himself in such a vulnerable situation. You guys aren't even married, and I would not advise a married couple to live this way. I feel like maybe I am, always a disaster person, but I'm like, I want to be able to pay my own bills no matter what my relationship is saying. Mm-hmm. And if I were you, I would also second guess, especially based on his reaction, do you love me because of me? Or do you love me because of what I can provide for you? Because the moment that I'm saying, hey, we're just going to stay on Valentine's Day, you have a freak out, it just is like, It is unbalanced. I think he is actually in a more vulnerable and precarious situation, and it's healthy for him to get on his feet and to live as an independent person, even if you guys are in a relationship, because there's no guarantee that this relationship's going to last forever, and he's going to have to provide for himself forever either way. Yeah. You know?
You're both adults.
Yes.
And you have been insanely generous. I mean, like paying for his little sister's education, like that is so incredibly generous, and it shows how committed you are to like his family is your family.
Yes.
You know, like that shows how dedicated you are to it. But like if you can no longer provide that, like then you can't. I mean you did. Congratulations, you got a new job,
which
is
great.
Wonderful. That is great. And so if you are able to get back in that position to help his sister out and all that stuff, I think like if you are ever back in the situation, if you make amends and work things out, and you are back in the situation where you are in the same place you were monetarily, I kind of would suggest like, hey, even though things are back to normal, like I can't do everything that I was doing for you just because of how you freaked out the first time. I need you to also take personal responsibility for yourself in case this happens again. And also because it's better for you, like as a person. You can't spend your entire life dependent on someone else, especially when that person is someone you love,
right?
And who has already given you so much, bent over backwards for you. So I would have some talks.
Absolutely. Because I completely agree with you. Because even though you have this great job, if things get back to normal monetarily, you should have a talk about like, we need to figure out finances and you need to handle your parts of things. Even if like the rent is not split evenly, because I assume you guys live together. I pray you live together. Don't be paying his rent and you don't even live in an apartment. But whatever. If you live together, maybe you pay more of that rent.
Sure. If you make more, like
he has to pay his percentage too. I personally think he should be paying his own fucking car note.
The car thing, yeah.
He should be like paying for his life, like it. And I think the gift of his little sister's education, you've already committed to that.
Yes.
It's like the little sister shouldn't be negatively affected by this decision, but he certainly has to learn how to provide for himself and not be so reliant on you, and also like feeling entitled to it, because like this whole situation, in my opinion, should never have been like this, and it's not too late to right the ship. But this is not tenable. Yeah. It's just not.
Yeah, I would say the sister's education is the most pressing issue, because you don't want to let a child down.
Sure.
Especially since you care about her so much enough to do this. And, changing schools is very difficult, But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, if you can't, then you can't.
And you can't. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, and no one likes to hear this, you have to be your number one priority. And, like, of course you want to be generous, but this person's an adult. The person you're in a relationship with is an adult, and it will be good for him and good for you and good for your relationship if he chips in as much as he can on rent, and if he pays for his own things, because then your relationship can just be about your relationship, not about the monetary like requirements. I don't know.
And maybe like he pulls his weight in some sort of other way. I don't know, but like if like sort of establish like, okay, how are you pulling your weight, boyfriend? I don't know his name. Like, how are you pulling your weight to warrant everything that I am doing for you?
I mean, I truly cannot think of an answer that would be valid.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I cannot think of like, I take out the trash, or like I keep the house clean. Like, y'all aren't married and have not been like, okay, we're going to be in one income household.
Or it's not like you have like a kid together and like he takes care of the kid.
There are situations where that's the agreement, but there's no unmarried situation where that should be like that, in my opinion. So yes, those are my thoughts. I don't mean to judge him or you. I just want everyone to be safe and not put themselves in a vulnerable spot. And your boyfriend has put himself in a very vulnerable spot, and now you, I think, can help course correct, because he's going to feel better about himself. As much as he'll probably throw a fit when you first tell him this, he's going to feel better about himself once he starts doing it, and the relationship will be clearer, and money, and like there'll be fewer strings attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. So have a discussion.
That is not a situation I could be in.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Even like in the boyfriend situation, like I have a hard time like people like being overly generous to me. Like I'm just like, I don't deserve this.
It's just like, and it's like I didn't the idea of like asking my parents for money when I was just out of college and like struggling was tough. So the idea, and like I don't know that I ever did, but no, I always knew that if worst came to worse, that it was an option.
Your parents would be there.
Yes.
For you. Yeah.
But like asking a man I am seeing, never. Just like seeing, we're not married, never. Never. Oh, whew. Okay. We're on to the last portion of the podcast, I believe. We're on to giving me moments.
And I have none.
You have none.
I worked hard this week.
Good.
Like, I worked a lot, like at my restaurant job, and there was just a lot going on this week. The car of it all.
Yes.
I couldn't really consume much.
That's fair.
But you know what? I felt good about myself.
That's good.
And it's Valentine's Day, so
Absolutely.
I loved myself a lot. So I guess that was me giving me
Love
moments.
yourself in like a Haley Steinfeld way.
Yeah.
She knows she's talking about masturbation.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're all on the same
I'm
page.
not saying that's what I did.
That's what I heard.
Like, I'm taking the lyrics literally.
Okay, all right.
I'm a very literal person. Metaphors.
I know. That's why you're always yelling about I miss the mountains. You're so mad about it. Well, I only have two small things. Okay. So the first small thing is we have begun watching a show from the early aughts entitled 6 Feet Under that I have never seen because I've only heard good things about it, especially about the series finale. And I'm like, I just feel like I should watch the show. And it's a little dark, but still, comedic, dramatic. It's not like so devastating. It does begin with someone dying every episode because the family runs like a funeral home. And so it's about, the different people that they are working with. And it is interesting. It's dark. And it just like kind of reminds me of what dramedies, like prestige dramedies of that era were like. I have not rewatched The United States of Tara in a long time, but it really gives me that vibe. Half because the mother on this show was also a character on United States of Tara. I believe she played John Corbett's mom on that show. But anyways, it is an excellent show and I'm excited to get into it. Unfortunately, we also keep watching it like really right before I'm going to bed. And so it's a calming show. It's a little quiet. And so have I nodded off a couple of times? Yes.
Sure. Is 6 Feet Under HBO?
It is HBO.
I mean, early 2000s HBO. You were watching the edgiest shit.
You were.
Like, you were just like, yes, this is what adults watch.
Yes. And I'm excited to be an adult and to take the show in. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I think we're only a few episodes into it, but I'm excited to continue along on the journey. And secondly, I just want to say I think this season of Drag Race has really hit a beautiful stride. I thought last episode was really fantastic. Their runways especially, it was just like, wow, you guys must have some of the best designers in the country. Like as soon as they received that phone call being like, I'm going to be on Drag Race, it's like, got it. Let me figure out exactly what I need to make for every single runway you do. And like this week's theme was flowers, and some of the ones like Saphira's was unbelievable. Q's is always unbelievable. I just really loved a lot of that we saw on the runway. And I have to say, and again, spoiler for Drag Race if you have not seen this week's episode, but you might have seen in the Discord someone said something in the Drag Race channel like, I think Plasma is the closest we're ever going to get to Matt Steele being on Drag Race. Plasma is this queen who has red hair, is petite, loves Broadway so fucking much, and is like the hugest Barbra Streisand fan. And like every time,
how do they feel about Hello Dolly?
I believe they've mentioned watching Hello Dolly growing up and loving it. So like maybe
it is a beautifully.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe
fabulous
you feud a little bit. They have not brought up Carol Channing, but basically. Plasma's been doing musical theater forever. And like this week was the Rusical where they do like a, drag cover version, essentially like a mock you musical. And this was The Sound of Rusic. And they were all picking out roles at the beginning. And instead of Maria, it was Mariah, which I loved. And Plasma's generally nice, kind of got pushed around when picking parts in the earlier challenge. But Plasma was like, I'm going to be the fucking lead. I'm going to be Mariah. There were a couple of other girls trying to. It's like, I see myself as Mariah. He was like, no, I am Mariah, and I don't have a second choice.
See, and my first choice would be Marta.
I don't know if there was a Marta equivalent, but
she's the most important character in The Sound of Music.
Well, I don't know if they really made a splash in The Sound of Rusic, but I've got like the performance, like. Plasma was in literally every single setup, and it was like a 15-minute musical. They had to learn all the lines to lip sync to, all the songs to lip sync to within like 15 minutes, and she fucking killed it. Like when you are the star of those kind of challenges, you either like are the winner of the week, or you completely flop and you like maybe go home. And so it's a big risk to be like, I want to be the lead and like that's all I'm gonna be.
Sure.
But like you could watch her and be like, this is what you should be doing. Sure. Like you hear about Jinx Monsoon and how, you know, she's on Broadway now, and I could really see that for Plasma. It was just beautiful seeing her in her bag in such a way. Like you go on the show as a musical theater fan, and there's going to be so many challenges that aren't your shit.
Sure.
And like to see her kill it was like really exceptional. Saphira was also exceptional. She was like Mother Superior was her role, and like got to be like an old lady trying to teach Mariah the way. It was really fun. It was really great. Plasma did a great job, and I don't know. I think everyone, I'm just like growing to like them all a bit more. Their personalities are shining through.
Is Plain Jane still there?
Plain Jane is still there, and like being less of a bitch, still a bit of a bitch, but like there's like more relationships have been built, and the girl she was really feuding with, and spoiler alert, is no longer there. So it's like I'm not even bothered by Plain Jane anymore. It is just I'm really excited for the girls and to see how the show ends. I'm still rooting for Nymphia Wind or Saphira to win the whole thing, even though Nymphia like didn't say anything this past episode. But they're always so fantastic. Everything they do is unbelievable. So we'll see how it ends. But I'm into Drag Race this season, and I'm into 6 Feet Under from 2001.
Okay,
those are the things I like.
All right.
Well,
I'm into the fact that you're into them because I don't have any give me moments this week, and the Traitors pissed me off this week. So
I loved the Traitors this week. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening or watching the podcast this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and we always enjoy you. And we'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Cute. That's gonna be like an hour.
It's like an hour.
Yeah.
It's like an hour.
I am the Mariah, the elusive chanteuse. The only thing I will get on Mariah for is that ridiculous title. I never liked that title. Sorry, Palmer. Good album though.
Tyler, that title's iconic.
It is iconic. She could have picked one of the two because it's clearly 2 titles just smashed together.
I love it.
But but we're a justice for that album. Absolutely. Yeah. It's an excellent one.
Yeah.
What's going on in the chat? How are we all feeling?
Are we fighting? Or are we all getting along?
Are we fighting or getting along? I don't know.
Please get along. Please.
We want people to love.
Please. This is a positive podcast.
Working hard like that Mariah Carey music box song. Palmer, you missed the opportunity to say that. I could have said that. Working hard is great, but I don't, when it's not on the original, I don't think of it as quickly.
6 Feet Under, what's the actress's name who plays the mother?
Oh, I just looked her up.
She's phenomenal in everything she does.
She won an Emmy for that, I think, right?
I think so, yes.
I'm going to look 6 Feet Under. Wow.
She's really, really great.
Imagine if Faded goes viral. Ugh, that would be amazing.
Oh, let's get Faded to number 1.
What a perfect song. What a perfect song.
Yeah, you didn't like it at first.
It grew.
I always loved Faded.
Look, when you're coming off of Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel and you have a song that sounds like that, it's hard. You don't hear the brilliance because the production is so right in the pocket with all the stuff the Dream was doing.
I heard the brilliance.
Frances Conroy.
Talent.
Yes,
she's great.
A talent, absolutely.
Yeah. American Horror. Yeah, she was in American Horror Story.
Yes.
The Witch season. Maybe some other seasons. I don't know. The Witch one was the only one I watched though.
Wait, doesn't Sia sing the theme song for 6 Feet Under? I just remember that. I don't think she sings the theme song, but I think her song "Breathe Me" has a big part of the series finale episode. I don't know why I know so much about the series finale episode, but people have just told me forever that it's so excellent.
I know you're done with the Mariah rant, but I loved every bit of that other than the Gen Z slander. I will only accept that from other Gen Zers. When millennials are older or Gen Alpha do it, no, you'll be fine. Guess what? You're going to be slandering all the other generations.
That's true. It's just what happens. It's what happens. Faded is underrated. Faded is such a classic. Great. The people know. It
opens with her writing in the notebook.
I know.
She's like,
Joy Luck Club. Are they still developing a sequel for that? I remember they were. I don't know. I hope it's still happening.
What a great movie. That's such a fucking great movie. It's like, 2.5 hours of perfection and poetry. You guys would talk about the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs were nice. Everything that was expected to happen happened.
Oh, I see. So there wasn't any surprise.
It wasn't the most surprising. It was Oppenheimer, Best Picture, Best Director, Leading Actor.
Is there any world that Oppenheimer does not win Best Picture at the Oscars? Okay.
No.
All right.
I guess Zone of Interest ones: sound, foreign language film, and something else.
Okay.
Something else.
Who knows what?
So it's it's nice, that one a lot. I guess another little, I guess it's sort of just solidified because some people were like, oh, Sandra Hüller might win at the BAFTAs. And if she wins at the BAFTAs, that means that maybe there is a chance she could be a dark horse at the Oscars. And Emma Stone won leading actress. So everyone was kind of like, well, thank you for showing up, Sandra Hüller. But it doesn't seem like it's in the cards at the Oscars for Sandra Hüller, but you never know.
Is Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall?
Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in Anatomy of a Fall and Zone of Interest. She's in both of those movies.
But she's nominated for Anatomy of a Fall.
She's nominated for Anatomy of a Fall. She's phenomenal.
I think I'm going to watch that tonight.
I know that's what Jackson
That's
told
what
me.
he told me.
I feel like you would like Anatomy of a Fall.
All right. I'm interested.
Yeah. It's a little long. Like it's over 2 hours. So like drink your coffee because you fall asleep.
I do fall asleep. You told you I fell asleep during the holdovers.
I know. And it's a 3-day weekend.
Yes.
Come on.
I'll try. I'm going to stay up.
Have you finished the holdovers yet?
I mean, I finished it that night, but I just I didn't fall asleep through the rest of the movie. I just was like, a scene would happen. I'd be like,
oh my God.
And then I'd wake up.
Because like the first half of the holdovers is great, but the second half is just like, oh, this is wonderful.
I could see myself rewatching it. I was trying to get us to watch Crossroads tonight, but I think we're so behind on Oscar viewing.
You got it. There's bigger fish to
fry.
But
Crossroads, who knows when they're going to take it off Netflix?
That's okay. Yeah.
I want to see, Brittany and Kim Cattrall interact.
I don't think it's leaving in the next month.
I don't know that. I guess it just joined this month, but you never know.
Especially with the Britney book being so big.
I know. I'm sure people are watching. They're going to capitalize
on that for like a year, I feel, at least.
I hope so.
So.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I think you'll like Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. Real great performance by the dog.
Hope that dog
you'll know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I will.
You'll be like, oh, wow.
How do they make the dog do something impressive?
I don't know. I forget. I listened to a DGA podcast with the director, and she explained how she did it, and she just described it so matter of factly. She was just like, "Oh yeah, we just practiced," and it was like, "What?" Like it was something that was so like. And when she's really funny, I love that director because people are like, "How did you like figure this out in the script?" And she has more words than this, but the whole gist is essentially just like, "Yeah, we just worked on it." So she always cracks me up when she talks.
Director of the year. It had way too much random nudity. It made no sense. Other than that, it was all right. Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was such a ridiculous.
There wasn't that much nudity in Oppenheimer. I don't think people are making a big deal out of it.
I won't be seeing that.
It's like 2 scenes.
I'm just not interested.
It is fantastic.
Okay.
Like it's if you were to ever see it, you would just be like, this is very impressive.
Right.
Like the scope of it all is just really impressive. Yeah.
I think I'm more likely to enjoy Poor Things or Oppenheimer.
I think Poor Things you would be more invested in the story.
Okay.
I think there are some aspects of Poor Things that would make you kind of go, no. Knowing you and your aesthetic.
Those are the ones
I don't know.
On my no, I'm not going to watch Oppenheimer, but Poor Things I might watch, and then I might watch Killers of the Flower Moon, but it's just so long. And it seems sad.
And it's got some violence in it.
Oh, violence? I don't do well with violence.
Yeah. I think that I was telling Jackson, I think it's weirder that you were like, ooh, maybe I'll watch Killers of the Flower Moon, but never Zone of Interest, when it's like, but you don't see the violence in Zone of Interest.
No, but I don't know. You know what's happening around it, and it just is so dark. It's like a dark cloud of
Killers of the
horror.
Flower Moon isn't exactly bright. It's not exactly overhead lights.
I know, but I'm just nervous. I wrote a poem called Emancipation in Elementary School a half a year before the album dropped. I felt so good about myself. Oh, I love that. I remember after the album dropped, we put out our first men's a cappella CD because I, of course, had the recording equipment to do so.
Sure.
And I called it the Emancipation of Men's a cappella.
What does that mean? Don't know.
No, it means we were emancipated. Usually you used to only have to see us live on stage, but now be in your CD players. We've been emancipated into your CD.
Do we call that emancipation?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
We're now free to hear us wherever you go.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a light definition of emancipated. I had an opportunity to watch Poor Things yesterday, but thought against it because I don't want the MI night with a weird. You can end it. It's not like disturbing,
right?
But
we did see All of Us Strangers. We both loved it.
It's great.
OMG, I finally caught y'all live. I love y'all. Oh, thanks, Kevin.
Hey, you caught us at the end, but
you didn't catch us at the end, but I hope you enjoy us. We're going to be putting out more videos all the fucking time. Come join us again.
PM.
And if you're in the LA area, mark your calendars for May 4th. The tickets haven't been released yet, but it's happening.
It's happening. The title of the app has to be Mariah's.
Right. The Mariah. I mean, I had a lot of feelings. Short podcast, so you have enough time to react to Ruin by Usher. I don't know that we're going to do that.
My
but we
reaction
love you.
is congratulations, Usher.
And he looks great.
You look great.
Come
You're
on.
a talented man.
Very talented.
Yeah. I remember your episode of Moesha.
You always go back to that.
Oh, that's what I know.
That's so weird. I guess that was like his heyday is the time you were like paying the least attention to pop music.
Yeah. If it happened in 2000 from 2000 to 2007, I only know it if I heard it all the time at a school dance, which, yeah, I did. Yeah, I will say it every single time. Yeah comes up. It's just like, yeah is the song I have heard the most that I did not listen to on my own accord. Like, yeah, it
just was on
everywhere.
Did you know in 2005 that Mariah was having a comeback?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all. I didn't know Yeah was Usher. I didn't know Usher was singing Yeah. I didn't know. I had heard occasionally We Belong Together out there. I didn't know it was Mariah, and I didn't know it was because I didn't know she had I knew that Glitter like was a flop.
Okay.
But like, okay. At the time people were saying flop.
Yes.
But I didn't know that it was like, oh, but then she rose from the ashes like a phoenix. Like I didn't know that whole narrative was happening.
It did.
I knew whenever Britney did something.
Good.
So I was sort of abreast of that. I knew like the Avril was big. I knew the big Avril songs. I knew like the Ashley Simpson album was very big.
I mean, classic.
Every girl was dyeing her hair brown or not brown, like black, like that Ashley Simpson color. So those were the things that I was aware of. Hollaback Girl I was aware of. Obviously, it's classic.
Since you've been gone?
Of course, since you've been gone. Sure. Yeah, Kelly Clarkson, I was a little more into
because
I was a fan of American
Idol. Yeah.
So if it was happening on American Idol, I knew about it. Yeah, but I wasn't fully. Oh, wait, that was when I was discovering Stephen Sondheim. You know,
big time for you.
Yeah, he was on Moesha 4 episodes. Do you remember his name, Matt Steele? His character name? No.
Yeah, was he not Usher? I thought in my head I was thinking it was like a celebrity guest star, like Usher's coming to perform at our school dance.
I just remember, no, he wasn't playing himself.
Okay.
I just remember there was one line. They're in Moesha's kitchen and they're talking, and Moesha just goes, "Look, do you want to go out with me or what?" And Usher just goes, "Yes." And then at the end of the episode, he like sings to her on her front porch, but not really sings, like lip syncs to the CD version of that song, which title I always forget.
You got it bad?
You got it. No, you relationship with you. Here's what you do. Think of any thing that come my way.
Oh, you make me.
You make me.
You make me want to, yeah.
And I just remember being like, why does his voice sound like that if he's singing to her face to face?
Was it even a cappella or
no,
was it?
It was the CD version.
What?
He was just lip singing and like not even opening his mouth, you know. And I was just like, how is sound coming out? I don't get it. I don't get this.
That's how Ariana does in her videos these days. It's just barely.
Usher was on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh.
He was dating Amber, I believe. Okay. Usher's name was Jeremy Davis. Good to know.
Well, we did just find out. Did I tell you this? That Usher, they offered Usher a role in Dreamgirls, which I assume was J Hud's brother. And he just like turned it down for some reason. I'm like, why? Because like we love everyone. I never thought that guy Keith, whoever, did a great job in that movie.
I did a good job. I liked him.
I don't know.
But I mean, well, lucky day for him.
Yeah, lucky day for Cece. It's true.
I don't know if Usher's right for Cece.
Interesting.
Usher doesn't have the innocence of Cece.
That's true. He doesn't seem
like the other guy. I feel was more appropriate, for the role. Because I mean, like Usher's like
cool.
Like I mean, he's probably cool, I'm sure, but like Usher is like such a. He was such a huge star at that point. It would have been a little distracting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Beyonce was in the movie.
Yes, playing the star, like the person who has to have the star quality.
Sure.
You know? So of course you're going to get like a big name. Like I remember when that movie like was announced and all the musical theater on whatever the equivalent of TikTok was at that point, we're just like, oh, I just wish like anyone played that role and not Beyonce. Like, why does it have to be Beyonce? Like, and it's like, who the fuck else would play Dina Jones now?
I'm so glad you have specific memories of shit like that, because I swear sometimes I look around, and of course this isn't a bad thing, but like the consistent like everyone loves Beyonce is lovely to live through now. But I'm like, you guys remember when all of you fucking hated her, right? Because I have loved Beyonce. But you were talking shit about her when she performed every song at the Oscars, when those two girls got kicked out of Destiny's Child, and when she was announced as Dina Jones in Dreamgirls.
Well, the two girls getting kicked out of Destiny's Child, maybe
that was Matthew.
It was a little negative.
Look, gay Matthew Knowles.
But like I remember when it was announced for Dreamgirls, and I was just like, oh, obviously,
right?
And people and like all the musical theater, because I was a musical theater major, and all the musical theater people were just like, oh God, it's such stunt casting, and it's like, or maybe she's a star,
exactly.
And even if she wasn't a star, she's absolutely appropriate for this role.
She literally has lived the story.
Like I can't think of a more perfect person right now to play that role. Like if the movie was getting made now, I would just be like, oh, just get Beyonce to do
exactly.
it. like it's like there's not like a more perfect person to play that role.
Definitely not.
So unless you got like Diana Ross herself, like and the movie was made back in the day.
I don't foresee she'd do that.
Yeah.
I don't think Diana Ross loves Dreamgirls.
Yeah. You know what?
Oh, all right, y'all.
All right. This was nice.
This was lovely. I hope everybody has a great long weekend if it is long for you. And if not, just have a great night and a great beginning of next week.
Do what you can.
Do what you can.
If it's not a 3-day weekend for you, do what you can.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do.
We believe you.
All right.
Bye, guys.